As soon as my chairman told me to say 12:30, I knew that was not going to be accurate. But having said that, I want to start off just with some basic protocol here, especially for our new members who are on the Alcohol Subcommittee. Welcome. As I will let the new members know, our work sessions are just that. They are work sessions. They are not hearings. Folks who are joining us, those who have been with us over the years, you are here for informational purposes. Should a member seek your knowledge, let's just say, and to help us in our work sessions as we go through each bill. And yes, I will let the members know we are going through each bill, but it won't take that long, trust me. In the past, we have tried to move calendars, consent calendars, and it has bitten us in the you-know-where, just because we didn't have an ATC commission before and we do now. And so they do a fabulous job of reviewing our legislation just to make sure there's no negative statewide impacts or otherwise. So with that said, for those who aren't members and who are joining us, again, this is for our work session. And should we seek inquiries or answers, we will be sure to call upon whomever could answer those questions. With that said, let's get started. Again, for the new members, we have our counsel with us and they will go through each description of each bill just to refresh our memories. And we will start with House Bill 113.
Good afternoon. House Bill 113 establishes the Ocean City Promoter's License. There is one amendment that clarifies that the $5,000 fee is per event, and also clarifies that approval must come from the Ocean City Police Department. And
we do have a letter of support.
Yes,
I received it directly. The delegation is in full support with the included amendments. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Is there a motion?
Move the amendment.
You have the amendment.
Yes. She described the amendment, Bob.
But it's been moved, correct?
Yes. The amendment has been moved. So move the bill as amended.
So moved.
Just a real quick question, Madam Chair. Is it normal to have the police approve this?
Council?
I am not sure if it's normal. I can say that was the amendment that they put in, was to have it go from it being, since the bill came in, it was originally, I believe it was the mayor and city council of Ocean City, and they changed it for the police department.
I just have never seen it, but I'm okay with it if that's what they want.
I talked to the representative, Delegate Hartman, who I believe is the chair, and he is in full support and gave me the letter himself directly.
Move favorable.
Okay.
Yeah, just for context, I believe that police have been involved in the Prince George's County entertainment permits, reviewing safety plans.
Yes.
There is some precedence there.
Okay, thank you, Bob. All right, so is it Erica or who was presenting?
This is Erica.
Okay. Do we need to do a roll call, Erica? No. Yes.
We can do a roll call.
Okay.
Give me.
Okay, you want me to do the roll?
Sure, thank you.
In front of me. Delegate Harrison.
Aye.
Delegate Arntz.
Yes.
Delegate Howard.
Yes.
Delegate Jackson.
Yes.
Delegate Johnson.
Yes.
Delegate Prisky.
Yes.
Delegate Rogers.
Yes.
Delegate Weibel.
Yes.
Delegate Valderrama.
Aye.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
9.
We good, Bob?
Yep, we're good. House 146.
Yep.
House Bill 146 is from Howard County. This repeals the requirement that the Board of License Commissioners hold a hearing for a license holder applying for a change of resident agent under certain circumstances. The board may hold a hearing if they deem fit. The delegation supports. There was no opposition at the hearing, and there are no amendments to this bill.
Perfect. Any questions or commentary from the members?
Move favorable.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second.
Are we gonna do a roll call for everyone, or is this?
I wanted
just
to ask
a-
council, do we need to do a roll call for everyone? Because I don't really want to if we don't have
What
to.
the other subcommittees have done, Madam Chair, is to ask if there's any opposition, and
Gotcha.
the
We'll go with that. Much
members will raise
faster.
their hands in that case.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was just trying to follow protocol and I didn't want anyone saying I didn't do otherwise. So with that
Yeah,
said, I'm with the latter. So.
Okay,
any-
we don't record the votes and we don't disclose them.
Great.
Yep.
So any opposition? Seeing none, hearing none, that bill is so moved.
Okay, House Bill 158 is a Howard County bill, and it provides that an individual who is a resident of the state must meet, excuse me, must meet certain residency requirements for the licenses in Howard County. The delegation supports the bill. There was no opposition at the hearing, and there are no amendments to this bill.
Perfect.
Move favorable.
Second.
Any opposition? Commentary, seeing none, hearing none, that bill is moved favorable. Thank you.
Okay. House House Bill 218 is another Howard County bill, and this repeals a requirement that an application for an alcoholic beverages license include a petition of support signed by at least 3 members of the community. And it authorizes the board to waive a residency requirement that at least one of the applicants be a resident of the county under certain circumstances. The delegation supports this bill. There was no opposition at the hearing, and there are no amendments to this bill.
Perfect.
Move favorable.
Second.
Bill's been moved and seconded. Any opposition? Seeing none, hearing none. Thank you, council.
House Bill 248 is a Baltimore County bill, and it authorizes the Board of License Commissioners for Baltimore County to issue a Class B ECFDS license to use at certain Towson University events. The license is already authorized for UMBC, so this just extends it to Towson. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports, and there are no amendments to the bill.
Okay, I was going to have a question, but you just answered it. So, okay, perfect.
I'll move favorable.
Second.
Was that a second?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Seeing no opposition, hearing no opposition, that's so moved.
Okay, the next bill, if we could hold this bill, there was an issue, a slight issue with this bill that the delegation is dealing
Is this
with currently.
251? House Bill
Yes.
251? Okay, hold. Holding 251 members. Okay, next is House Bill 258.
House Bill 258 as drafted specifies that an applicant for an alcoholic beverages license in Queens County is not required to be a resident of the county. There are 2 amendments in your packet. The first one clarifies that at least one of the applicants at the time of an application has to be a resident of the state. The second amendment in your packet adds Caroline County and the same clarifying provisions to the bill. We have delegation letters, and there was no substantive opposition at the hearing.
You said, oh, substantive, I see, because you said yes. Okay. Delegate Aaron's, you good?
Move favorable.
Second.
Bill's been moved and seconded. Any questions? Seeing none, hearing none. That bill's so moved as amended.
House Bill 277 from Montgomery County. We do have a delegation letter. There are no amendments and there was no opposition. This fixes a bill from last year that essentially allows multiple licenses for different retail categories at a county overseen facility.
I'll move favorable.
Second.
And a motion and a second. Any questions or commentary? Seeing none, that bill is so moved.
House Bill 345, also from Montgomery County, no amendments, no opposition. We have a delegation letter, essentially allows the 2 members of the Alcoholic Beverages Advisory Board, which oversee their dispensary system, to have designees.
Okay, I thought you were continuing, sorry.
No, that's all it does.
Yeah, move favorable.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or commentaries? Seeing none, hearing none. Bill 345 is so moved.
House Bill 436 from gorgeous Prince George's. We have a delegation letter. There was no opposition. There is an amendment that addresses an issue subsequent to the bill hearing. The amendment allows the transfer of a beer, wine, and liquor license within an area where it's currently prohibited to issue a new license, so long as the transferred license ends up being not less than 1 mile from an existing beer, wine, and liquor retail licensee.
Got it.
So there's an amendment, and then there's the bill.
The amendment,
Did you say move the amendment? I just heard
Yes.
amendment. Okay.
yes,
Second,
yes.
bills. Any opposition to the bill as amended? Seeing none, hearing none. That bill is moved as amended.
House Bill 438 from Prince George's County. We'd have a delegation letter. It's not amended and there is no opposition. This allows the Bowie Bay Sox Stadium to have a liquor license and makes clarifying changes.
Right, okay, I thought that was that one. Okay,
That is that one.
any questions or
Move favorable.
Second.
second? Been moved and seconded, that bill. Any opposition? Seeing none, hearing none, 438 is so moved.
Okay, House Bill 520. We have a delegation letter from Anne Arundel County delegation, not just from Annapolis. There was no opposition. There is an amendment that does two things. One is to raise the license fee to be $1,000. They essentially had a placeholder in the bill as drafted. So they've decided now how much they actually want it to be. And then there's also some clarifying language saying that they can't issue the license to an organization that does not have as its primary purpose the promotion of the arts.
Right.
Move the bills
I'll move
amended.
the amendment. I'm
Move the
sorry.
amendments. No, that's okay.
Second.
Yep.
Move the bill as amended.
Second,
Bill's been moved and seconded as amended. Any opposition? Seeing none, hearing none, that bill is so moved.
A House Bill 558 is Carroll County bill. It requires that at least one of the applicants for an alcoholic beverage license be a resident of the state at the time of the application. There is one amendment to the bill, and the amendment clarifies the residency requirements for the alcoholic beverages license in Carroll County. There was no substantive opposition to the bill, and the delegation supports the bill.
Any discussion on this bill? Seeing none, is there a motion on the amendment? We
move the amendment.
Second.
Second. Bill's been so moved and second as amended. Any questions, commentary? Seeing none, hearing none, that bill's moved as amended.
House Bill 559 is also a Carroll County bill, and it alters the seating requirements for the following licenses: a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, beer, wine, and liquor license, Class C beer, wine, and liquor license. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports it, and there are no amendments to the bill.
Move the bill.
Second,
The bill's been so moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, that bill is moved.
House Bill 560 is a Carroll County bill, and it repeals a limit on the total number of days for which a multiple event entertainment license may be used. And it establishes an annual license fee of $2,000 for having 41 or more events per year. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports, and there are no amendments to this bill.
Any
move the bill.
Thank you. The bill's been moved. Is there a sec? I'll second it. Second. Bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on House Bill 560? Seeing none. Next bill.
Madam Chair, I ask that we hold this bill. This is a Baltimore City bill that they're working through delegation.
Gotcha. 587 is being held.
Okay, House Bill 644, the Frederick County bill. It establishes a Class B GSF beer, wine, and liquor license to be issued to a golf simulator facility for on-premises consumption. The annual fee is $1,500. The delegation supports the bill. There was no opposition to the bill, and this bill has no amendments.
Move favorable.
Second.
Second.
The bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. House Bill 644 is moved.
Okay, House Bill 655, Baltimore City Bill. And it's an emergency bill that alters the statutory references to boundaries of Baltimore City's alcoholic beverages districts in accordance with the legislative districting plan of 2022 rather than 2012. There was no opposition to the bill. There was no amendment to the bill, and the delegation supports the bill.
I'll move favorable.
Second.
Bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, House Bill 655 is so moved.
Okay. House Bill 670 is a Hartford County bill. This bill reduces the annual fee for a stadium license to sell beer, wine, and liquor from $10,000 to $4,000. There is one amendment to the bill that turns the bill into a delegation bill. This bill was opposed at the hearing. The the Alcohol Control Board is opposed to the bill, but the delegation supports the bill.
Weren't they opposed to the fee? Wasn't that the big gripe?
Mhm.
Did
Move
you say it
the,
was, I'm sorry, I had a question. Did you say it was, you said reduced, right? From 10
Yes,
to,
currently it is at $10,000. They're looking to reduce it to $4,000 so that it will be more in line with other minor league baseball stadiums in the state.
did you have a commentary, Delegate Johnson?
Yes, Madam Chair, that the stadium there is out of line with other minor league stadiums, and they're paying nearly, I think it's either 4 or 5 times the rate as other minor league ball clubs in the area. They're actually paying the same as the Ravens are paying and the Baltimore Orioles are paying, with a far less of capacity in their stadiums. So that's why we're asking for this.
Understood. So any other discussion?
The only other thing I recalled was that they were able to serve different types of alcohol. That was the only reason somebody said you shouldn't do it, because they.
Correct. Correct. They can sell beer, wine, and liquor. There are some other ones that only allow beer and wine. But Charles County does allow beer, wine, and liquor too, and they're at 2,200.
And the Prince George's Blue Bay Sox Stadium, you just approved a bill that adds liquor to the beer and wine license.
For how much?
It's a local bill. I don't have a problem with it.
Without changing the license fee.
What's the license fee, Bob? Do you know?
Let me take a quick look at that.
Yeah.
2,420.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What was it? I'm sorry.
$2,420.
Yeah. And they want this one to be $4 grand?
Correct.
Instead of 10 grand.
So most of the other minor league stadiums are around $2,000. So they put this at 4,000 to account for also.
Yeah.
serving
Okay.
alcohol.
Okay. Any other further discussion? Seeing none. Sir, a motion.
On the amendment.
On the amendment.
Move the amendment.
second.
Awesome. The bill is as amended. Any opposition to the bill as amended? Seeing none. House Bill 670 is moved as amended.
House Bill 679 is a Frederick County bill, and it repeals a requirement that alcoholic beverages licenses be behind glass. And it just requires license holders to frame the license and display it conspicuously in the licensed premises. The delegation supports. There's no opposition to the bill, and the bill has no amendments.
Move favorable.
Second.
Bill has been moved and seconded. Any opposition or questions? Seeing none, hearing none. House Bill 679 is so moved.
House Bill 784 is from Prince George's County. There is a letter of support. There is an amendment, but there was not any opposition. What the amendment does is to take out provisions relating to changes that would have related to the entertainment license entertainment permits already in the jurisdiction that would have allowed a promoter to be used, and instead sets up a work group in the county to look once again at entertainment permits.
Move the amendment.
Second.
There's a motion for support on the amendment. Any opposition? Seeing none. Moving the bill as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Were you raising your hand, Delegate Jackson? No, you were, okay. I thought you were doing this. Okay. That bill is so moved. Thank you.
Okay,
885.
House Bill 885 is a Baltimore City bill. It extends the termination of the related events promoter permit from June 30th, 2023 to June 30th, 2025. It also alters the definition of related event, and it shortens the length of time that a person must apply for the permit from 90 days to 30 days. There was no opposition to the bill. The delegation supports the bill, and there is one technical amendment to the bill, and it substitutes executive director for comptroller, since the comptroller no longer has, well, for taxes, but they don't have regulatory authority over alcohol.
God bless you, Delegate Person.
Sorry.
Gesundheit.
Is there a motion on the amendment?
Move favorable.
Second.
Bill has been supported as amended. Move the bill as amended.
So moved.
Any discussion? Seeing none. House Bill 885 is moved as amended.
Okay, House Bill 886 is a Baltimore City bill, and it broadens pre-existing boundaries that limit liquor store hours from the 1300 block of West North Avenue to the 3200 block, and it expands it to the 1000 block. And it also authorizes the board to issue a Class C beer, wine, and liquor license in a certain block of Hickory Avenue in the 40th Alcoholic Beverages District. There was no opposition to the bill. Delegation supports, and there are no amendments. Oh, I'm sorry, no.
There was an amendment.
To this bill. I am so sorry. There is one amendment to this bill, and it authorizes florists to hold a Class C beer and wine license under certain circumstances, and limits alcoholic beverage licenses in the southwest part of the 40th district due to safety concerns.
I move the amendments.
Second.
Bill has been moved as amended and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, move the bill as amended.
Okay, House Bill 905 is a Garrett County bill, and it establishes the framework for the expiration of alcoholic beverages licenses in the county. It decreases from 25 to 10 the room requirement for a certain license to be held by a hotel or motel. It expands the authorization of a gift basket permit to include alcoholic beverages purchased from a wholesaler and not just a retailer. It authorizes the holder of a multiple event license to hold another alcoholic beverages license of a different class or nature. And finally, it extends the hours of sale on Sunday of alcoholic beverages to 6 a.m. to midnight. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports the bill, and the Liquor Control Board supports the bill.
Madam Chair, did
Yes.
this said something about multiple license? They can hold two licenses at one time. Is that what you meant?
So yes, authorizes the holder of a multiple event license to hold another alcoholic beverages license that's of a different class or nature.
So does that mean they're doing two different events possibly? Is that what that's for?
No, I don't read it as that. I think if they're doing multiple, let's say they have a multiple event license, but then they also have like a restaurant or something like that of a different class or a different nature.
Well, wouldn't you have that license regardless? If you owned a restaurant, you'd have a license, you'd get one license to do both, wouldn't you?
I think you can. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I can go in.
Delegate Aaron's, do you have some
Research
reservation or
Yeah, if we could hold it for.
Sure.
Yeah, I would like some clarification on that because I think we could do that already with one.
this is 905, correct? Delegate?
Yeah.
We will hold 905.
Okay. House Bill 916, Baltimore City. It alters the revocation and suspension procedures of the board by allowing the board to make an offer of compromise to a license holder of an alleged violation instead of conducting a hearing. It also alters the maximum fines for certain violations. This is already done in Prince George's County. There is no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports the bill, and there are no amendments to this bill.
Again, I hate to be a naysayer, but I have a question on that. You know, one of the things we run into, and we ran into in one of my counties, is that our liquor board gets to set those fines. And sometimes we try to stay hard, fast. There's a fine, 1 + 1 has to equal 2. And because somebody might know something and they might be a friend or something like that, and they want to do that, I just worry that that could play like this, but I'm fine with it. It's a local bill. I don't want to impose that. It's a word of caution.
Any other discussion?
I had a concern about the fines being increased. Was anyone opposed to the bill?
No, there was no opposition. Nope.
Okay,
I'm gonna move the bill move the bill.
second.
The bill's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion or opposition? Seeing none, hearing none. House Bill 916 is moved.
Okay, House Bill 917 is a Baltimore City bill, and it authorizes a certain center to extend the licensed premises onto a non-contiguous property with a second separate use permit under certain circumstances, authorizes the board to issue a Class B license to a restaurant in a certain area of the restaurant if the restaurant has a duck pin bowling alley, and authorizes small Class D beer and light wine license holders in the 46th district to apply to the board to convert the license to a Class D beer, wine, and liquor license under certain circumstances. There was no opposition at the hearing, and there were no amendments, and the delegation supports the bill.
I have
97.
amendments. I see amendment. None? Mine says yes.
We
Okay.
were not officially given any amendments. I confirmed with Baltimore
Okay.
City, with the delegation, that the amendments were never voted on.
Got
Okay.
it. So, right. Is there a motion to move the bill? I'll move the bill. Is there a second?
Second.
Wake up, guys. The bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or opposition? Seeing none. House Bill 917 is so moved.
House
Okay,
Bill 918 was withdrawn by the sponsor.
Oh,
that's already been voted, actually. That was a mistake to include it on the list. Sorry, Madam Chair.
no problem. Withdrawn. Okay, 918 is one.
939.
No, 918. So we're on 939 now, Frederick County bill. And it extends the Sunday hours of sale or of certain alcoholic beverages license to mirror the existing hours of sale for the other 6 days of the week. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports the bill, and there are no amendments to this bill.
Move the bill.
Second.
Second.
The bill's so moved and seconded. Any discussion or opposition? Seeing none. House Bill 939 is so moved.
House Bill 946, Prince George's County, Main Street, Laurel Development Area. We do have a letter of support. There was no opposition. There is an amendment that essentially moves the boundary of the new development district by 1 block.
Move the amendment.
Second.
Amendment has been adopted. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move the bill as amended.
Second.
So moved. Yeah.
Any opposition, discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. 939 is moved as amended.
House
Hold on,
Bill-
Tiffany. Let me let some people in. There's a couple folks in the,
Waiting room.
yeah. It's not working on my end. I'm trying to get my staffer to do it. Okay, I got it. All right.
May I proceed?
989.
Okay. House Bill 989. House Bill 989 is a Frederick County bill that establishes a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license to be issued to a miniature golf facility for on-premises consumption. and the annual fee is $1,500. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports the bill. There are no amendments.
I apologize. I don't know if I was muted or not. So if I was yelling, I apologize. If you guys heard me yelling, I was trying to,
Nope.
anyway. Are we on 946 or 989? My apologies. I thought-
989.
Okay, I must have been yelling for my staffer. What was 9? Did we skip over?
No,
No.
946 was adopted with amendment.
Got it. Thank you. All right, my bad. All right, sorry about that.
Would you like me to do 989 again?
Please.
Okay. House Bill 989 is a Frederick County bill which establishes a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license to be issued to a miniature golf facility for on-premises consumption. The annual fee is $1,500. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports the bill, and there are no amendments to this bill.
Move the bill.
Second.
Bill has been motioned to move and seconded. Any discussion or opposition? Seeing none, hearing none. House Bill 989, so moved.
House Bill 990 establishes a Class B beer and wine license to be issued to a hatchet throwing facility for on-premises consumption. The annual fee is $1,500, and there is no opposition at the hearing. Delegation supports. Bill has no amendment.
Move the bill.
Second.
Bill's been moved and second. Any discussion? Opposition? Seeing none, hearing none. House Bill 990, so moved.
House Bill 991 is a Frederick County bill which repeals a requirement that alcoholic beverages used in a basket of cheer, which is a current permit, has to be from a Maryland producer. There was no opposition at the hearing. The delegation supports the bill, and there are no amendments to this.
Move favorable.
Second.
Bill's been moved and second. Any discussion? Seeing none. House Bill 91 is so moved.
House Bill 997 from Frederick County alters how an individual on a licensed premises of a beer and wine or beer, wine, and liquor consumption permit may consume alcoholic beverages. The bill was not opposed at the hearing, and there are no amendments to the bill.
Move favorable.
Second.
Bill's been moved and second. Any discussion? Seeing none. House Bill 997, so moved.
Okay, 1014 is withdrawn already and voted. So what next is 1058.
House Bill 1058 from Hartford County establishes a Class B beer and wine license for a hatchet throwing facility. This annual fee is $750. There was no opposition to the bill. There is one amendment, and this amendment strikes language that would have allowed.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
What happened?
You all right, Ken? You all right? Wyval?
Delegate
Yeah,
Weibel?
we're following two hearings, sorry.
Oh,
Oh, my gosh.
What just happened?
hey, Weibel, pay attention, man.
Yeah, I
Other
thought I was
license, yeah, I
muted.
got
I knew
skipped
that
over.
was gonna happen. That was my
Yeah.
Barry Ciliberti imitation.
Well, you
He was
was-
he was dodging a hatchet.
Oh, my God.
Okay. So there's one amendment to the bill, and the bill strikes language that would have allowed licensees to purchase alcohol from another retailer or manufacturer. There was no opposition to the bill. Liquor Control Board supports the bill. Delegation supports the bill.
What did you say about that amendment? What does it do?
So it removes, it strikes language that would have allowed them to purchase from another retailer or manufacturer, and it keeps it consistent with what people have to do now and buy from a wholesaler.
Move the amendment.
Second.
Bill's been moved and amendment, I'm losing my mind. Amendment was moved and seconded. Any discussion? We move the bill as amended.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none. Bill 1058 is moved as amended.
House Bill 1059 from Hartford County establishes a performing arts theater beer and wine license for use on the premises of a performing arts theater operated by a nonprofit organization. The annual fee is $500. The bill was not opposed at the hearing. There is one amendment, and the amendment is the same as the one from the last one, where it only allows them to purchase from a wholesaler.
Move the amendment.
Second.
The amendment has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. Move the bill as amended.
Second.
Any Discussion, opposition, seeing none. House Bill 1059 is moved as amended.
House House Bill 1062 from Hartford County alters the quota that is used to determine how many of a certain Class A license may be in the county from every 3,000 people to every 4,000 people. So it reduces the number of Class A licenses that can be given out to every 4,000 people from 3 to 1. There was no opposition at the hearing. The Liquor Control Board supports the bill, and so does the delegation, and there's no amendments.
Move the
Does that
bill.
affect current
Second.
licenses? I'm sorry.
Bill has been moved in second. Any Delegate Johnson?
No, Delegate Ernst had a question.
That doesn't affect any current licenses, does
This
licenses?
doesn't affect current license holders or renewals.
Okay, thank you. Move
I
favorable.
apologize, Delegate Aaron's.
That's okay.
Okay. Had I made the motion already? I got,
Yeah, I think it was moved in second.
okay, great.
Bill, I think.
House Bill 1059 is moved.
Okay. House Bill 1063 from Hartford County establishes a 6-day and 7-day beer, wine, and liquor alcoholic beverages license in health clubs. The annual fee is $1,300 and $1,400 respectively. The bill was opposed by the Liquor Control Board. It was supported by the delegation. However, there is an amendment, and the amendment alters the license to be a beer and wine only license. And it requires a licensee to have an indoor or outdoor pool or a pickleball court. And it provides that the licensee may only serve alcoholic beverages in a bar area at the swimming pool or in an indoor lounge, and they must serve prepackaged food at all times when alcohol is served.
Has any
Where-
question or anything?
Delegate Howard?
That was the amendments
Yes.
from the liquor board
No, I don't know who they were from, but
Okay.
that's from the amendment.
and the delegation supported it.
Yes, sir.
Move the amendments. Sorry.
Second.
Amendment has been adopted in second. Any discussion? Questions? Seeing none, hearing none. Remove the bill as amended.
Second.
Bill has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Questions? Seeing none. House Bill 1063 is moved as amended. Members will now move on to the House statewide bills. We covered all the local bills. Who's council here? Is that you, Bob? Okay.
Oh, that's me. Yep. Delegate Harrison has House Bill 246. There are 2 amendments. Both are clarifying. One deals with allowing the licensee to prepare as well as to sell food. So we're not just talking about food brought in from a Horn and Hardart. It also clarifies that the wine and pumice brandy may be sold for both on-premises and off-premises consumption. We characterize these as technical amendments.
Move the amendments.
Second.
There was no opposition to the bill during the bill hearing.
Amendments have been adopted in second. Any discussion? Questions? Seeing none, hearing none.
Move the bill as adopted, as amended.
Second.
Bill's been moved and second as amended. Any discussion? Seeing none. House Bill 246 is moved as amended.
House 565 from is a statewide bill, although it has a Washington County delegation as the sponsor, would allow a Class 9 limited distillery license holder to self-distribute their products. There is an amendment in your packet from Washington County. Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2, instead of having the privilege under the Class 9 limited distillery license be for self-distribution, instead authorizes a Class 9 limited distillery license holder to apply for the appropriate license in the distribution tier, and that is a Class 8 liquor wholesaler's license.
Bob, just for clarification, this doesn't interfere with the 3-tier system, right?
With the amendment, it actually respects the guardrails of the 3-tier system by requiring this Class 9 license holder to obtain a limited wholesaler's license.
Okay,
Sorry, a liquor wholesaler's license, Class 8 liquor wholesaler's license.
okay. I just wanted to be clear. It
So,
wasn't.
Madam Chair,
Yes. Delegate
so
Howard.
we worked that
Oh,
amendment
Delegate
with
Weigel, I'm
the,
sorry.
We worked that amendment with the opposition to the bill, and with that amendment, they removed their opposition.
Okay, thank you.
And it does
I
preserve the
just wanted to make
three-tier
sure it did
system.
not interfere with our states. Okay.
Correct, it does
Correct.
not, and it basically gives the same rights to the Class 9 distillery as Class 1 distillery already had.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Delegate Howard?
No, not at all. That 100% answered my question.
Okay. Is there a motion on the
I would move the amendment.
Seconded.
amendment has been moved?
Actually,
and-
amendments, there were two.
Yep.
I'll second the movement of both amendments. If we can, Madam Chair.
Yes, we may. So both amendments were moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, hearing none.
I would
Move the
move the
bill as
bill.
amended. Yep.
Second.
Bill's been moved and seconded as amended. Any discussion? Seeing none. House Bill 565 is moved as amended. Members, our next bill is House Bill 595, Delegate Cheese Bill. I would, as a point of personal privilege, I'd like to place this bill on hold for further discussion. So we will hold House Bill 595.
We can't kill it.
We're holding it, Delegate Aaron's?
Thank you.
Yeah.
House Bill 787, this is the DoorDash bill. Allowing DoorDash as opposed to an employee of a licensee, retail licensee to do third-party delivery.
It's state. I'm sorry.
Madam
Oh, it's
Chair.
statewide.
Delegate-
Yeah.
Delegate Aaron's.
Yeah, you know what? I had some discussions with my liquor board on this. And I guess there were some major questions as to how it really could be policed and what have you. I think, Bob, could you explain the liquor license, who holds that and who controls that?
Well, this is going to be, for example, a restaurant.
Under certain circumstances, authorizes the board to issue a
Can
class
someone mute themselves?
in a certain area of the restaurant.
Tiffany. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, what this bill would do, you have a restaurant that currently localities are authorized but not required to allow restaurants to deliver essentially drinks. And what we're doing here is we're saying that no, you can't do, you could instead, but you're required to do so as an employee, meaning somebody who has a direct relationship with the license holder and has alcohol awareness training. Instead, this would allow your dasher or other food delivery service who is not directly under the control of the local liquor control board or board of license commissioners under a license to do the delivery.
The other
Yeah, so-
part of it was county lines, how we're going to regard.
Yes, it would. They would have to. It does allow them to go across. I think
No, it doesn't allow them, I believe.
it does allow them to go across county lines, and that's something that we didn't originally allow them to do with the retail delivery. The retail delivery first came about as part of the COVID response.
Well, I thought this bill read that it was not allowed to go across county. We
No,
could not-
I'm sorry, they're not allowed to go across county lines, but that's still an issue.
Okay,
So-
that will be an issue. I think I got heard from when I was talking to one county, because we had butt up, we're real close in a lot of areas in the restaurants. Right there. They're recommending they're not comfortable with the bill and pushing me not to support it. And I understand their concerns. I'd like to see something done to work some of this out so everybody's comfortable with it.
I've got a lot of the same concerns, a lot of the same conversations, that it always be no teeth as far as enforcement. And just from the description that we just got about the person who would be doing delivery, it almost sounds like they're acting as an agent on behalf of a restaurant. Now I've got liability concerns. So even though that there is, the alcohol awareness, now I would still have liability concerns. So I would move unfavorable, quite frankly. I think there's too many concerns.
Well, yeah.
Delegate Harrison, Vice Chair Harrison.
Thank you. I think Delegate Howard actually just hit it, that the restaurant or the business would be liable for perhaps a mistake or an irresponsible activity of a dasher. And so it is very concerning. I'm not sure that this is the direction that we want to go in at this point.
Madam Chair, I would second that unfavorable.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Okay,
Okay, so,
I'm sorry, Delegate Harris didn't, Delegate Howard did, I'm sorry.
okay, I just wanted to make sure, I just wanted to make sure Vice Chair had finished her commentary. Appreciate it, Madam Vice Chair. So I want to follow protocol. Delegate Seth Howard has moved an unfavorable action. Delegate Aaron's second that unfavorable. There's been a motion for unfavorable and seconded. Are there any further discussion or commentary, questions? Seeing none. Is there opposition to the unfavorable? Seeing none. The motion for unfavorable has so been moved on House Bill 787.
987?
787.
So 787, yes. I'm just moving on to the next bill. That's
Oh,
all.
I apologize. Sorry, Bob.
Okay, 987, although it has a sponsor problem, Madam
Yeah,
Chair,
well-
your bill. This is
Very funny, Bob.
Wait a minute. What about 938? That was next on my list.
It's being held.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's right.
So 987, this is the statewide authorization for essentially a sip and spit permit so that educational institutions such as University of Maryland College Park, who are running fermentation education programs, can have people who are at least 18 but under the legal age for drinking at 21 can participate in classes where they have a major in or studies in fermentation science, which will of course include beer and wine. Let them participate and actually try a sample, but not actually consume it. So that's why it's colloquially referred to as sip and spit. There is no opposition.
And any amendments, Bob?
There are no
No.
amendments, and there was no opposition during the bill hearing.
In
And
light
just-
in light of the sponsor, I'd like to move favorable on the bill.
Second.
I'd
I
like
also
that
just-
discussion.
I just wanted to share with the members that we're not setting precedent. Okay, so
No, it's good, Bill. It's cool. I understand what they're doing.
okay, so there's been a motion for favorable and second. Any opposition? Seeing none. House Bill 987 is so moved. We have two more bills. Members, sit tight. And these are the
Okay.
chairman's bills, and may I remind everybody.
Okay, House Bill 1000 from Delegate Wilson. These are substantive updates to the ATC law. There was basically making sure that within the tobacco area, the commission has the same authority that it already has with alcohol in terms of the ability to conduct unannounced inspections and searches, and also have a violation, making sure that they're actually using licensed premises in a manner that conforms with local zoning laws and regulations, so that they can actually make sure that now there was opposition during the bill hearing, particularly from the premium cigar and pipe tobacco people. The ATC worked with Matt Bowl, who I see is on the call, to work out some language that would restrict the authority of ATCC to conduct seizures without a warrant of premium cigars or pipe tobacco, and then also has some additional language to make sure that the holder of a common carrier permit can't require a signature for a shipment delivered to a licensed tobacconist. That's because of concerns with the, I know the Postal Service might not want to provide a report. And so the common carrier may elect not to report as well if the common carrier complies with the delivery requirement, signature requirement under the subtitle. And so with that, that is one amendment. There will be another amendment coming over the weekend that will add on to this bill a study of minority participation in the alcoholic beverages industry. the retail, not the retail, but the manufacturing and wholesaling tiers, based on a bill that was passed last year for GOSPA to do a study on which they completely dropped the ball. And so we've been asked by the administration to drop an amendment that would essentially recodify that, or sorry, reenact that study, but have it done properly by the GOSPA in consultation with the AGs, Transportation and ATCC. Though that amendment isn't before you, though. The amendment we do have in front of us, though, is one worked out by ATCC with the premium cigar retailers.
I will just,
Association.
thank you, Bob. I'll just point out to the members, we do have ATC folks with us in case anyone had any questions or commentary. And then I actually have, because I know Delegate Howard, during the hearing, you had expressed your own concern as a Premier's cigar business owner.
Well, it's based on language warrantless searches. So I personally, I'd like a little bit more time to just digest the bill and it's, with the amendments. And I guess we're waiting on some amendments anyway. So
yeah, there's another amendment anyway coming. So
Okay, well, if we're still waiting on further amendments, I mean, obviously, we're not trying to preclude this bill from moving forward, but
no,
I think it would be appropriate then if we just take it all up at once. Bob?
agree.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, so we'll just hold so that those amendments can be brought forth to the members in full discussion before taking a vote. Obviously, not holding up the bill in that way, but just want to be clear. Okay, so we'll put 1,000 on hold for those other amendments that were just discussed.
And the last bill is House Bill 1165. This is a rather large cleanup bill for ATCC, or ATC currently, essentially changing references to the controller to the proper citation throughout the entire annotated code of Maryland. And there are no amendments. Then there was no opposition at the bill hearing.
This is like just a cleanup bill, go from
Essentially,
to director.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it quite code revision, but it's something where DLS staff met with ATC staff over the summer to come up with a very long bill in not only in the alcoholic beverages article, but also health general business reg tax. For example, they're removing some tax stamps requirements where there are no longer any physical stamps. So,
Okay.
So we can move the bill?
Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none,
Move the bill?
Second.
bill's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, House Bill 1165 is so moved. Members, that's actually the end of our docket. Thank you for your patience and your indulgence. I will say, given some of the holds that we have on our docket, we may be meeting once again. I just don't know what date that will be because we need our counsel with us as well. So just stay tuned for further updates on alcohol. With that said, I'm just going to remind everyone here, we also have a voting session at 2:30 in case anyone did not know that. So we finished right on time for that. Is there any questions or any discussion for good of the order for alcohol?
It's 2:30. I thought it was 2.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
it's now 2:30.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
2:30.
All right. Perfect.
So nothing further. Thank you so much, council, and thank you, members, for your indulgence and your patience. We
Thank
are
you, colleagues.
Okay.
All right.
See you in a half
Bye.
hour.
Yep.
Thank you.